What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Legion of Comics, and this is day 3 of the Week of Keys here at the channel. So before we dive into all these keys that I have to show you today, be sure and check this out. As always, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that thumbs up, consider subscribing to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you do not miss when future content drops. And like I said, this is day 3 of the Week of Keys special series that I'm doing this week while I'm on vacation. And you don't want to miss because the week is just building from here. So let's get right into it. I'm excited to bring you today, as you can tell from the thumbnail, it's a Suicide Squad special. So we are going to look at some of the keys that are associated with Suicide Squad, some of the ones that have pretty much priced themselves out of this video for sure, and then a stack that I actually have to go through of some that I've acquired in the past few months, and they've just not made it onto the channel yet. So everybody is familiar with the Suicide Squad. It's one of DC Comics' more popular band of characters. You know, they had that movie a few years back that David Ayers did. There's a brand new movie coming out from James Gunn, the guy who directed and kind of the mastermind behind Guardians of the Galaxy. DC brought him in to do a kind of a rehashing, a soft sequel. It's called The Suicide Squad, and it drops next month. So what better time than now to talk Suicide Squad, look at some of the keys, and show you some that are actually affordable. And you can actually find some of these in the cheap bins. So we're going to start off by just talking about when the Suicide Squad started, and some of these are completely priced out, at least for me for right now. So first off, the Suicide Squad started in Brave and the Bold, issue number 25. So originally it was not even a team of villains. It was just like a military team. So this isn't just the first appearance of the Suicide Squad. It's the first appearance of their founding member, Rick Flag. So this book right here in a high grade goes for about $4,500. So this book is definitely not in this video. Next up, another one that didn't quite make the cut of this video is going to be that Batman Adventures issue number 12, the first appearance of Harley Quinn. So she's probably, along with Rick Flag, probably the most associated character with the Suicide Squad. You know, Margot Robbie played her in the previous film. She reprised her role in Birds of Prey, and she will be back this summer for the Suicide Squad to play Harley Quinn again. I absolutely love her as Harley. I think it's perfect casting. I'm excited that they got Joel Kinnaman back to play Rick Flag. And in the James Gunn one, they even have him in the proper yellow shirt. It's kind of like what you expect to see him in. So he's kind of more spot on in what it looks like with the new one. So that book is also going for in a high grade, about $1,000, a little bit better than that in the high grade. I think the LCS here in town, when they had the 9.8 or something like that, it was like at 1,200 or something. It was up there. It was way far up there. So next up, another breakout character of this, and whose first appearance is a little kind of not what you would expect, kind of like with the Brave and the Bold, and then being like a military team. That's going to be Peacemaker, who made his first appearance in the Fightin' 5, issue number 40. So that book's going for about $1,600 in a high grade right now. But also, after he made his appearance in that, he did get his own standalone series in Charlton Comics in Peacemaker number 1. And that book's going for a couple $100 at the moment as well. So there's also a limited series that was done in the late 80s. I think it was just like 4 issues. And then he really hasn't been around that much until here recently. They really brought him back and forefronting him in all the current Suicide Squad stuff, which is fantastic. John Cena is going to be playing him in the new movie, and it looks absolutely hilarious. Like, again, perfect casting for that. So those are some of the 3 big iconic books that are going to be associated with this new movie specifically. And those are kind of the high dollar ones as well. But there are a bunch of them out there that are really affordable, and some you might not expect, some you would. I mean, there's a lot of characters that aren't going to make this video, like Polka Dot Man, Ratcatcher. There's just a bunch. There's like 18 heroes or 18 villains, characters, whatever you want to call them, that are going to be in this movie. But let's go through this stack that I do have, and let's talk about some of these and their price points and where you should be looking for them. But first up is going to be DC Legends issue number 1. Now, this is the first appearance of Amanda Waller. Somebody is known as Amanda Waller, who's all through the DC universe, and she's been in numerous movies at this point. It's going to be a $4 pickup that I made on this one, and this was just a few months back. This book right now is going for around $12 in a high grade, and but that was a super score. So this was a 6-issue miniseries from John Ostrander, the same guy who did the like the first Suicide Squad run in books. And in that first Suicide Squad movie, the building that they had to rescue Amanda Waller out of was actually the Ostrander building. It was a little Easter egg in there, but this is a definite one that you should be looking through those back issue bins for, and even maybe some dollar bins. This isn't necessarily a huge sought after series or anything, but definitely keep your eyes out because that Amanda Waller first appearance, it's going to go somewhere eventually. She's not going anywhere. She's definitely here to stay. So the Suicide Squad, like I mentioned earlier, was just kind of like a military team. But later down the road, it became the team that we know and expect, where Amanda Waller gets her Task Force X together, all these villains that she has, promising them some good time if they just play by her rules and go on these Suicide Squad missions. So the first time we saw that team, the first appearance of the modern Suicide Squad was also in DC Legends issue number 3. And they actually made it on the cover even. We have some Captain Boomerang action, some Deadshot. I mean, you got them right there forefront center. So this is another one that you can also find in those back issue bins, and you need to like definitely double check, try to spot them because not too many people, I guess, really hunt them down. So there's some sleepy keys out there. So next up, we're going to be seeing some obscure characters in this movie. Like I mentioned, Ratcatcher is going to be in there, Polka Dot Man, the Thinker from Flash, I think 117. But the Javelin is going to be in there. And I forget the actor's name who plays him, but he's really eccentric, funny guy. It's like Bjorn something or Bjork or something like that. But I'm excited to see his portrayal in there. I'm sure it'll be absolutely hilarious. And he made his first appearance in Green Lantern, issue number 173. So this one right here, I paid $3 for in a back issue bin a couple months ago. But it's an awesome cover, just slamming Hal with that yellow javelin right there. And this book in a high grade is going for about $18 right now. So get them before they get even bigger. Because if these characters have these breakout awesome performances, like that's what happened with Peacemaker. He got announced he was going to be in the movie, picked up a little traction. But then he got announced for an HBO show that already started filming and production and everything. And they even brought the Vigilante from the Teen Titans into the show already. So they're so confident with John Cena's portrayal that they're already banking on him in the long run. So who knows what other breakout characters might come out of this. So next up, another character that I'm looking forward to, who we saw recently here in modern comics. They kind of brought him in and modernized him. But that's none other than Bloodsport, played by Idris Elba in the upcoming film. So he made his first appearance in Superman Volume 2, issue number 4. This is April 1987. So this is another one that I'm expecting a stellar performance from him. So Bloodsport's known for taking a hit out on Superman, trying to assassinate him. And that issue of Suicide Squad that came out a couple weeks ago, the most recent issue, we saw him come in there, get the upgrade from the red bandana to the movie accurate costume and everything. And I just think that his chemistry with John Cena in the film is going to probably have like the sadistic buddy cop vibe to it. And I think it's going to be a blast. All right, next up. Oh, yeah, that one is going for in a high grade around $25 right now. Next up, one that I've had since I was a kid, actually. And it was fun to go dive in and pull some of this stuff out that I've had for a long time that I didn't just pick up recently. But that's going to be Superboy issue number 9, the first appearance of King Shark. Now, we've seen King Shark pop up in the Flash TV show, and it didn't really do too much for this book. But after the popularity that he had from those that watched the Harley Quinn show, where it kind of made his mark, and you can see so many clear comparisons from the way he is in the Harley Quinn TV show to the way that he is in the trailer, where the comic relief, kind of goofy and everything. But I think he's another one that's going to be a breakout character. I think we're going to see a lot of stellar performances that James Gunn really knows how to take these characters and make them unique by still like working them together so well. But I don't know, it's just, I'm really looking forward to him just eating people and just being uber violent. Just kind of that scene in Guardians of the Galaxy, even when Groot just kills like those 15 guys in the hallway, turns around and just smiles about it. That's how I expect him to be, but in his own way, but just that innocent murderer almost. But him fighting Superboy right there, big bag on the cover. He originally had that big fin on him, and we've seen him drawn so many different ways, but I think they've nailed him in the movie with that design that they're going with. It's just absolutely perfect. And this book right now, the direct edition, is going for about $40 in the high grade. So there are different editions, that some are worth more than others. Obviously, newsstands always are, but I think there might be a DC Universe variant for that one. I'm not 100% sure on that. So finally, the last book that I want to show off, this one is another character that I'm excited to see, not necessarily so much for the character, but for the actor who's portraying him. I'm a huge Pete Davidson fan from Saturday Night Live. His recent movie, King of Staten Island, was fantastic. He's just amazing. His stand-up is really cool. But this is Booster Gold, issue number 1, the first appearance of Blackguard right there, who will be portrayed by Pete Davidson. It's also the first appearance of Booster Gold, but he's not on the Suicide Squad team. Blackguard is. So I'm excited to see if he'll even make it. I'm afraid that this might be one of those characters that'll be a one and done real fast. Like, I'm expecting with 18 people on the team to see a lot of them get dusted early on. So that one's going in a high grade right now for about $75. So these books individually aren't necessarily very, very expensive, but you put them together, you got a hefty little collection right there. And those are the ones that I have to show you today. Let me know in the comments what you think. How excited are you for the Suicide Squad directed by James Gunn? What characters in that laundry list of bad guys are you hoping to see make it to the end of the movie? Who do you think is going to die? Like, how are you going to go see it in theaters? Do you have HBO Max? Leave some comments. Let's get some discussion going. And I look forward to showing y'all the books tomorrow that I have. It's going to be another kind of variety pack to this one tomorrow. And I cannot wait till Friday. That's the big day. So be sure to hit that notification bell. Do not miss a single day of the Week of Keys. And until next time, as always, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.